Wait, if minors cannot vote but can be taxed, isn't that taxation without representation? No, taxation without representation was just a slogan, it's not actually in the Constitution. Immigrants pay taxes too. Yeah, it is. No, taxation without representation was just a popular slogan during the Revolutionary War, it doesn't actually have legal weight. They have representation, they just can't choose their representation. But a teen is still free to contact their senator or representative or whoever and advocate for what they want. A lot of people are taxed without being represented. The entire population of Washington, D.C. and every U.S. territory, for instance. Activities get taxed, and unless they make themselves ineligible to vote through criminal actions, minors will be able to freely vote after their waiting period. Not really. Minors have representation even if they can't vote. Residents of D.C. truly have no representation. Same with Puerto Rico. Wait till OP hears about D.C., Puerto Rico, American Samoa, Guam. No, because they are represented. Not only is the no taxation without representation not an actual law, but even if it were, this wouldn't violate it. That was about being taxed by Britain, while they also wouldn't allow us a representative in their government, which is really only partially true, but that's neither here nor there. They can't vote on their representative, but they do have a representative in government. I personally am of the opinion that minors shouldn't pay taxes from their income. I'm also of the opinion that anyone under 16 shouldn't be working, but the US loves their child labor. You do have representation though. Taxation and representation are not connected. Taxation depends on income, not age. Voting depends on age, not income. Taxation without representation isn't against any law. So yeah, but so what? Technically, everyone has representation. Members of Congress are supposed to represent the interests of everyone in their elected area, not just voters or people of the same party. The one exception is the District of Columbia. They do elect a non-voting delegate to Congress, but while they can sit on committees and vote within them, they cannot vote on anything on the floor. In theory, they could have a say on tax policy if they are on the right committees, but they can't give a final yay or nay with everyone else. No taxation without representation is a silly baseline for government anyway. It should be consent of the governed. But realistically, children are more governed by a household, which they can't really leave, and can't have really voting rights taken away since they're going to get old enough eventually. No. And before you spend any time trying to poke holes in it, the answer will still be no. Look at DC. Zero representation, but we still pay federal taxes. They're represented by their parents. As a dependent child, your income and vote are grouped with your parents. Just because they can't vote doesn't mean they don't have representation. The colonists were mad because they didn't have anyone in Parliament representing them. But citizens in America are represented by congressmen and senators in both state and local legislatures. They may not represent their best interests, but they are represented. Are their minors making enough money that their deductions aren't refunded? Lots of people who can't vote pay taxes. People in DC, people in prison, people on work visas, foreign nationals, tourists, permanent legal residents, even some people who have disabilities.